MotoBlade, everyone. I have had the Kawasaki Ninja 650 for a little while now, and it is time to do a complete, detailed review of the Kawasaki Ninja 650. Stick around. Alright guys, kicking off our review. If you've been around my channel, you know I focus on what the ride is like, and there are several categories I go over. The first one is comfort. Let's talk about the comfort of the Ninja 650. For a beginner rider, this bike is great. It's more of an upright riding position than a hunched over one. So you feel more comfortable, you feel more relaxed, and your body, the rider triangle, is pretty close together. You got your feet right below you and tucked just a slightly bit back. Handlebars are good. Body position is good. It's a very close triangle. You don't feel stretched out. You don't feel uncomfortable. It's a good riding position. The stock seat that came with this bike, I would say I would give it about a 5 to 6 out of 10 on comfort. It was okay, but for longer trips you definitely want something better. What's that, dude? That being said, I upgraded the seat to a Corbin. And if you guys haven't seen my video, I'll put a link below and a card up on the screen. But the Corbin seat has made all the difference for long trips. It makes it much more comfortable to ride. But if you're just buying this stock for a stock seat, especially on a sport bike, this is probably the most comfortable you'll get out of the box. Let's talk about style and looks. You guys saw some body shots at the intro to this video. I think this bike looks absolutely spectacular. It's a great looking bike. The 2016 and earlier Ninjas had more rounded fairings. I didn't care for those. I like the 2017 and later, which is what this bike is, which gives it the more angular, more pointed fairings. Of course, Kawasaki makes these in many different colors, green being their keystone color. That's their classic Kawasaki branding. But I really love the candy burnt orange color on this thing. I mean, it just sparkles in the sunlight. It looks so good. Overall, it's a great looking bike. I give it about a 10 out of 10 for looks for a sport bike. It really looks great. We're going to talk about power for the advanced motorcyclist here. Let's watch this pull in first gear. We just did a power wheelie. Okay, so I'm super excited because that was actually my first wheelie I've ever done. My first legitimate wheelie. The front wheel was completely off the ground. It wasn't just floating up on the fork a little bit. That was my first power wheelie I've ever done, and I caught it on video for you guys just for this review. In first gear. I'm so excited about that. I did not mean to do that, but that was so much fun. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. That was too cool. First power on wheelie. So it has an insane amount of power, and this is a 650. So if people say that it doesn't have any power, let me give you a little perspective. I weigh 230 pounds. I'm not a small guy, okay? I'm a fat ass. So it just power wheelied with my weight a little bit forward over the front here in first gear. And I was not all the way into the throttle. I should have been, and I probably would have gotten it up even higher. But I didn't even get all the way into the throttle, because once the wheel started to come up, I backed off just a little bit. And it still came off the ground. I was off for about 2 to 3 seconds. So to the haters out there who say, oh, a Ninja 650, the 650 doesn't have enough power, you're gonna need a liter bike. No, it's got power, trust me. And if we want to talk about top end speed, let's get into a little bit of speed here. I'm in fourth. I got some curves up here, so I can't really open this up yet. 100 in fourth, and I still have 2 more gears to go. Okay? And I wasn't quite redlined. Alright, I got to back the speed down here so you guys can actually hear me over the wind noise. But I was doing 100 in fourth, wasn't quite redlined, and I still had 2 gears to go. So don't give me that crap that the Ninja 650 doesn't have power. It's got tons of fucking power. Again, it's doing that while hauling my fat 230-pound ass around. So don't think that this is low power at all. Kind of want to do another wheelie. I'll wait till after the video. Okay, so we talked about power there for the advanced motorcyclist. Is this going to be a bike for you to grow into and enjoy if you're a beginning motorcyclist? Yes, I'll tell you why. It's taken me a year to get comfortable with this bike to do what I do with it now with that kind of power. Okay, I've come from riding cruisers to sport bikes. Most people go the other way, sport bike to a cruiser. So getting used to really quick power and speed is something that took a while. But the Ninja 650 didn't scare me at all starting with that, okay? As a beginner on a sport bike, you don't have to rip the throttle, okay? This bike, we're cruising now. Remember, I'm in 4th gear here. 4th gear is what we just almost hit 100 miles an hour with. Now we're in 4th gear, we're doing 52, we're moving along at 5,000 RPM. It's nice and comfy. We're just gonna slow down here at this yield, and I'll show you what a normal takeoff would be here. Okay, we're in 2nd gear, and I'm just cruising along doing 30. There's 40, we're in 3rd gear. Okay, this bike is very easy. The throttle isn't twitchy. Okay, so it's nothing to be scared of for a beginner rider. You can control the power of this motorcycle very easily. And Kawasaki also put some nice features into this motorcycle for beginner riders to help you. Maybe this is your first bike. You've got an adjustable clutch and an adjustable brake over here, so you can adjust the distances of these levers to fit your hand. So maybe you're a smaller rider, you got a smaller hand than I do. You can move that lever in closer, okay? Additionally, you have a slipper clutch on this bike, which means maybe you're not good at rev matching for downshifting. Maybe you don't even know what that is yet. You're a new beginner motorcyclist. Maybe you just need some help with your shifting until you get better, until you get a feel for it. That's okay. This bike is not going to punish you for a bad shift. If you shift and it's not perfectly in time, that's okay. The slipper clutch isn't going to just drop the clutch in and grab the gear and throw you forward or backward, depending if you're speeding up or slowing down. It's going to recognize that you dropped the clutch in a little too fast, and it's gonna, I don't know exactly how they do it, but they slip it in smoother than a normal clutch would be. So it's not going to punish you. Let's just make a bad downshift here. Let's just, okay? I just shifted into 3rd gear. And I didn't rev match it. I didn't do anything, and I didn't even get the clutch in all the way. I just kind of kicked the shifter down, and it was totally fine. Shift up. I didn't even use the clutch. I just rolled off the throttle and clicked up. Went in just fine. The slipper clutch on this is really nice, and it doesn't punish you for bad shifts, which is fantastic if you're a beginning rider. Advanced motorcyclists are looking for something that has power because they're not a beginner anymore. Beginners are looking for something that they can buy and not have to buy another bike again in a year or two when they get bored. This is the bike for you. Don't be afraid of the power on this if you're a beginner. And if you're an advanced motorcyclist, well, just rip till your heart's content. All right, we have talked about comfort. We've talked about the rider triangle. We talked about styling and the looks. That kind of speaks for itself, but everyone will have an opinion on that. And we've talked about power. I hope I've proven to you guys the situation on power with this bike. So now let's talk about handling. Sport bikes are different than cruisers. Obviously, I'm in a turn, I can lean this thing so much farther over than a cruiser. And I will never, at my riding ability, unless I decide to go pro on a track, I will probably never lean this thing over to its full capability. And I hope if you guys are riding on the street, you're not leaning this over trying to be a street Rousey. Okay, that's insanely dangerous. That's how you kill yourself. Don't do that. That being said, this bike is super nimble and very flickable. We talk about flickability. How fast can you move around? Let's say a dog runs out of that driveway right now. You know, I can throw this thing side to side and dodge things on the road very easily, very quickly. Part of that is due to the fact the bike is very lightweight. Part of that is due to good ergonomics and handling on the part of Kawasaki. When we talk about handling, we also talk about handlebar position. That goes a little bit hand in hand with comfort. But Kawasaki in the 2017 and laters, they went from a handlebar, a solid handlebar, to these clip-on style sport handlebars. Very nice, very comfortable. They do take out a lot of vibration. It dampens the vibration that you would normally get in feedback from a motorcycle. Lastly, let's talk about some nice features of this bike. You have an analog tach, which I like, and a digital speedo. I like that combination a lot. You also have a fuel gauge, a temperature gauge. This is liquid cooled. The 650cc from Kawasaki is liquid cooled engine. So you have a temperature gauge for your engine there, which is very nice. You have a range indicator down at the bottom of the display. I hope you guys can see this in the sunlight. I can see it easily, but I don't know how the camera picks it up. The screen is very visible in the sunlight. Backlit, of course, at night. Very easy to read and see. We've got 158 miles to go right now. Got a little clock down here, tell you it's 11:11 a.m. And if this matters to you guys, I never pay attention to it because my motto is ride it like you stole it. But this little icon down here in the very bottom of the display, if you guys can see that, it's 3 little circles and it spells out eco. So if you're riding fuel efficiently and you're maximizing your miles per gallon, the bike will tell you that you're riding fuel efficiently. So if this is a commuter for you and you need to stretch your mileage, or maybe you're a little bit far from a gas station, it gives you your range, and it also tells you if you're riding economically so you can make it to that gas station. Those are nice little features. What else? Also on the gauge, if we speed up here, oh, I'm not going to do that. This is a bad turn up here and it's downhill. Let's wait till we get around this turn. Okay, if we speed up here, you guys will see the yellow light start flashing. It starts out slow and then it gets faster. That's a shift indicator light. So if you're a new rider and you're trying to work on shifting, you're probably going to be in the lower RPM shifting anyway if you're riding very slow. But if you're trying to improve and get faster, the shift indicator light can help you kind of learn when to shift your motorcycle. You should learn eventually by the sound and the feel, but the shift indicator light is a nice help for beginners. If you have a passenger riding with you, or you intend to go 2-up at any point, or use the motorcycle to pick up chicks, because why not? You do have a pillion in the back. It comes with a passenger seat. The Corbin seat I upgraded to also has that. And you already have passenger pegs installed on the motorcycle, making this a 2-up bike, I would say, for short distances. Oh shoot, that was a stop sign. I did not realize that. Fuck. Oh well. Oh well, full send. So I think for short trips, 2-up is fine. For longer trips, I don't know. I just don't see 2-up being practical on a sport bike for long trips. That can't be comfortable for either person. But, you know, if you got to make it work, that is something the bike comes with. It's already got the passenger pegs installed, so you're good to go. Overall, my impressions on this motorcycle, it has been a great sport bike. I love the Ninja 650. I like the color, like the comfort, love the power. The power is my favorite feature of this bike. I mean, honestly, I think 1,000 would be a little bit too much for me at this stage. And if I'm being realistic, my fun with a motorcycle is not racing at a top-end speed. My fun is in the lower gears and the acceleration, and as you saw, I can power wheelie this thing, so, you know, what is a bigger bike going to do that I can't already do on this? Are they going to be faster? Have a little more power? Get that wheelie up faster? Sure. Do I need that? Probably not. So if you're a beginner, or even an advanced motorcyclist, and you want something to grow into, have fun with, and get fast with, and you're not going to get bored of, this is the bike for you. The Kawasaki Ninja 650 hits it out of the park. Oh, I love this new stretch of road since they repaved it. Oh, it's so nice. So that's going to wrap this video up, guys. If you have any comments, questions, leave them down below, please. I love hearing from you guys. I try to respond to as many of you guys as I can. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button, especially if you found it useful. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Click the red button down below and click the bell icon next to it. That'll give you guys notifications when there are new videos to watch right here on MotoBlade. So until next time, y'all, you know what to do. Ride safe, ride on. I'll catch all y'all later. Deuces.